Oh yeah.
Welcome in to episode 5 of the Cardboard Podcast. What did you think of the new intro, Bob?
It sounds like we're trying to legitimize ourselves through an intro. But I will say, I feel pretty legitimate right now with that intro music. I mean,
well,
like slow-mo walking in a hallway, basically, like that type of thing.
I was clicking through the different songs, and I was trying to find the least sports card song that I could find, and that one jumped out at me. Like, this is so ridiculous. That
That's more like we're like doing burnouts in a parking lot, like
in slow motion. The slow motion ski
with like a lady of decent looks, maybe like hanging out the side of a window, and
not too great of looks, but just decent.
Like a 7.
Was that a throwback to Blue Jacket 66?
I don't throw him much. No.
I don't think sorry. I don't think I actually have that one handy. Oh, here it is.
My mantel's really nice. It's a PSA 7.
Was that really unintentional that you did that?
It was, but it's funny how that works out, Dave. Thank you for that. No, right. Actually, I meant to do that.
Okay, so we are back. It's episode 5. People thought we were
5.
Done. Yeah, this is 5, dude. People thought we were done.
It feels like it should be 15.
It does, doesn't it? I was thinking the same thing. It's honestly shocking we even got this far. Let's be honest. Like it really is. I enjoy this thoroughly, but it's just one of those things where it's so hard to like get on the same schedule, and like I feel like me and you are kind of the same, where it's kind of like ADD, and there's like so much stuff going on in general, and then it's just like doing this and doing that.
But it's good to be here. I'm glad we've actually been intentional about getting together and laying down some comedy gold.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So, one of the things that has happened since we last recorded, which I don't even know. Do you know when that was? Was that like 2 months ago?
All right, that's fair.
Was it like 5 months ago?
I think it was closer to like end of summer or beginning of fall.
That sounds right. Let's say like 3 months ago. I bet it was like 3 months ago. The sports card market had already gone insane, and that had been kind of the subject underlying our first 4 episodes. Well, it's really gone insane now. Like I don't even think it's debatable anymore that it's like really gone off the deep end. Me and you were just discussing the prices for our market update. Not to give any spoilers, but there's some jaw droppers there. So what is your kind of assessment overall of like where we're at as a hobby?
Well, I'm no longer selling anything. Because you can't. I mean, okay, so I don't want to speak for everybody. I've sold enough now to where like, okay, the market's got me a few times and I've got the market a few times, but I feel like the more I do now, I'd be selling mostly raw cards that have potentials for greater value because PSA is going to put a number on it. That's where I'm kind of just stepping back from really buying and selling. I'm very particular about what I'm buying right now, but selling is tough, man. It's because, okay, I've done a couple of tests where like I'll say I'd like to sell this card fakely, and then I just sort of watch it over the course of a month, and then I'm like, every time I've done that, I'm glad I never sold it.
Glad I didn't sell it.
Right. So, and it's been, well, I said from the get-go that like basketball was kind of going to be my selling angle to kind of put back into my baseball hobby and stuff. Well, that's still true, but um, markets are just too volatile to like. I don't know, man. Like it's trying. I guess I'm trying to find that balance of realizing how I don't need to be greedy, realizing and taking into consideration how much do I have, quote into it,
Sure.
versus what I could get out of it now. Like conversations I need to have with my dad as far as some of that stuff goes, because
Oh, that's true. That does complicate some of the cards you have.
yeah, but there's a few that we know we're in no hurry to sell. I mean, I was looking up my Mahomes rookies during the game, like uh, during the before the game, during the game, after the game, and it's just bonkers, man.
What does his like
So his
PSA 10
his
Prism optic? Okay.
I don't have, I just looked up his base optic raw. After the game, one sold for $798.
Raw
Raw,
optic.
just a
Wow.
base optic rookie.
Dude, it's like any price you hear now is just like jaw dropping. Raw.
I know that card was consistently around the 200 or 300 mark for the longest time.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Like, I mean, it makes sense that a Patrick Mahomes rookie card would be more desirable now. You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Sure.
But when you start talking about these numbers, I mean, it's hard. Like, let's say you're getting into the hobby like now for the first time. It's like fresh slate. Oh, okay. So the like top star, it's like, oh, okay, wow, this is a really expensive hobby or whatever. But those of us that have been around for a while, it's like, dude, it's like it's hard to pull the trigger on something like that when you remember how cheap it was, when not that much has changed. Like contextually, it's like, I don't know, man. Like I've had some vintage cards in my watch list for years, going back like 6-7 years when I got back into the hobby, and like I can't pull the trigger when it's so much more expensive than when I first like marked it down. I first, like let's say card A, whatever, it's like in a 5, try to get it for $100, and a 5's going for like $800 now. Like, how do you get past that? You know what I mean? And it's interesting you talk about selling. I feel like selling raw cards, in my experience, has been so much easier than selling the PSA 10s, because I'm not an expert by any means, but getting a 10 is actually pretty hard, outside of the fact of like it's hard just waiting a year to get your cards back. But like you kind of know when a card's not going to get a 10, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's so much easier to sell raw cards when that's the case, where it's like, this is probably a 9. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but this probably is not a 10. But the PSA 10s, those are the ones that, to me, tough, man. Like the regrets, like I've definitely won, with the market before, but I don't really remember those. I only remember the ones that like really sting. Like we talked offline about, I had an Ichiro 2001 Topps Chrome PSA 10 Ichiro rookie card I bought at my first national in 2017. I remember vividly. I bought it for $140, which was the most I'd ever paid for a card. And I was like, well, this guy's an all-time legend. It's not going to go down, whatever. I mean, I didn't realize what was going to happen. And
Nobody did.
this past spring and summer, it just slowly approached the $1,000. And I had some other hobby stuff going on outside of cards, and I was like, it started becoming a real amount of money that's like, this could go a long way, in this, with this other thing that I was doing, that it was like, well, I guess I'm really not that attached to it, like whatever. So I sold it. I sold it for $950, and it was to PWCC Vault, which like made me, I kind of second guessed it for a second. Like, whatever, it's gone. I checked the other day, and that card's going for $2,500. Not asked. That's like sold. It's going for $2,500. So that's the biggest sting that I have so far. Like that's, I don't know.
Is that what are we doing biggest things right now?
I guess this is kind of turning into biggest regrets thing. That was kind of like my idea coming into it, but
who knew, right?
Right.
Like,
I mean, I still bought a card for 140 and sold it for 950. That's what I have to keep telling myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know what you mean. It's yeah, I often say it's about perspective. Like my dad and I were talking. There's opportunity to sell right now. Yeah, the card might go up more, but how important is that card to you? How important is that player to you? And then like, that age-old question of what do you have into the card, and if a lot of these are just coming from these pack sessions or whatever, we're getting them out of packs. We're not buying a card and then watching its market. I mean, I've done that with a couple things, but so Nolan Arenado, I got his PSA 10 back in 18 for $35. I mean, it's like $150 now. But that to me is still a card that hasn't exploded.
I know. I have that card too, and I was thinking about that too.
Like, I'm waiting to look up that card one day, and it's going to be 300.
I know.
And I think Yelich is his market's still down. So like, you just have to do a little research. I mean, but again, I'm not a Brewers fan. I'm a fan of like the hobby, and I like to collect the stars of the game. But like, how much am I willing to throw at I could see myself grabbing a PSA 10 Yelich for still around like 150. And I think that card has a lot of room to grow. I know he's had some injury problems and whatnot, but I mean, the guy is like a month away from winning 2 MVPs,
Right. It's like that threshold of what a casual collector is willing to spend. Like, a certain guy gets past it. Obviously, some people have so much money that it doesn't matter, but like an average collector that's not like a diehard Red Sox fan is not just going to go out and buy a PSA 10 Mookie Betts rookie card. It has surpassed that like casual threshold. And I think like I have to keep telling myself, I don't need, like, if I'm going to sell something, it doesn't have to be the highest possible price. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's almost like an ego thing. Like, if I want to sell something that's selling for $200, if it goes up to $300, I still sold it for $200. You know what I mean? And I'm hoping that $200 was more important to me than that card was. Like, if I put it towards another card that meant more to me, or towards like another hobby or whatever, like, I think having something to show for it makes such a difference. And like dealers, card dealers, how do you think they feel? Think about like a big dealer at the National in 2019. All those cards they sold are like, they would be worth double or triple the price. You know what I mean? But like,
I remember the guy who had, it was like nothing but like Trout rookies. They were like $1,000 a piece for PSA 10s. Like, that's a $3,500 card now.
Yeah.
So I don't So kind of circling back to like regrets. Okay, I can get real bummed out. Okay, so my biggest regret was I sold a PSA 9 Topps Finest Refractor of Kobe Bryant 2 years ago for $350. That card, I haven't looked it up, but I've been told that it's like over $12,000 now. So that hurts, but who freaking knew, right? Kobe Bryant. I loved Kobe, but I was a Shaq guy, so like I was always kind of like, yeah, Kobe's trying to take away some of my Shaq spotlight, So the guy's good. I kept one finest rookie of his that I'll get graded, and if I get a 9 on it, it will just be the one Kobe Bryant card that I have,
But
I always come back to the Brady.
Dude.
I got a Brady.
Exactly. As you
I'm just going to ride that wave.
As you should. You graded that thing at the National in 2019, and you easily could have sold it. You were showing it to dealers, and you had like standing offers contingent about what grade it came back before you even had it in hand. So like, just keep telling yourself you have this like all-time legend card that's only going to go up. Like, people always say this card's only going to go up. Like, that card is seriously only going to go up.
Yeah, I mean,
that's got to help you sleep at night.
I think like he's still undervalued by like current market like trends,
Speaking of market trends, you want to do a market update?
I think that sounds like a great idea, man.
It's time for a market update. Is the market up or is the market down?
Never gets old. The slide whistle never gets old. All right, so we got a market update. For those of you who don't know, it's not that important, but this is what we do. We take a list of cards that we have handpicked for their importance in the hobby and relevance to us. Has that been enough of a build-up?
Hand-curated, artisanally selected. That's perfect.
So we're gonna all the cards are PSA 10s except for the one vintage card. So that let's just get into Topps Chrome update Juan Soto rookie. Currently selling for $467, up from the last time we did this at $175. It's an increase of 167%. 467 for that card now. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, this whole list is crazy, except for the one.
Yeah, except for the one, right? All right, so the 54 Hank in a PSA 5, $5 shy of 10 grand, $9,995, up 113%. From 4,700.
It's more than doubled, which obviously he has passed away since we last recorded. So,
and I know there's people that debate that little like they die and their markets go up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there's some people that debate whether or not he actually died. And there's some people that actually
that's a different kind of podcast, man.
Yeah. Well, I know Mike's podcast, Golden Age of Cardboard, one of his recent episodes was all about the prices of a player's cards after they die, and the general takeaway was that there was an initial spike that didn't last. It wasn't all encompassing. Like some of those cards did have like a permanent change, of course, but the general thing again was there was like a spike and then it kind of normalized. But also none of those players that he talked about, I feel like were quite on the level of Hank Aaron, like all-time legend status, you know what I mean? Like greatest of all time. So,
but I think given the spike and then the kind of return, I don't think it ever goes back down to where it was.
Sure. Yeah. And there were several instances like that he talked about where that was the case, that it never returned completely, but some of them did.
Okay. So you heard it here second. Jason Dominguez autograph, Bowman Chrome rookie autograph, PSA 10, selling for $2,150, up 79% from $1,200. Oh, I like that.
Why do you like that, Bob?
I just got a feeling about that kid.
Autograph, Jason Dominguez.
What? The refractor.
Sorry, I had to slip that in there.
Of course. Now this, hold on to your seats because the 1999 Bowman Chrome CC Sabathia is up a half a percentage point to 200 from 199. So
it's up $1.
You still should have jumped on it because realized gains are realized gains no matter how much.
Well, not if they don't cover the cost of a sale.
True.
I think CC, like, I put him on that list because I feel like his stuff is undervalued, but like this just tells me, I don't know, it might not just tell me that it's undervalued. Maybe it's just not going to do anything, but it's kind of funny how all these cards have doubled and CC's has gone up $1.
So my just quick take, and I've got no evidence to back this up, is like CC falls into that category, like almost like people we'll forget about him for now, and then like once it starts getting time for his name to start getting mentioned and like stuff, they'll be like, dang, I didn't realize he had those numbers. I didn't realize he was that dominant or that, for that good for that long or whatever. He's a Yankee.
Because people kind of, there's still that idea you need 300 wins or whatever, but that's not going to happen anymore. That's not going to exist anymore. And he's like that old guard. He's like the transition to the new like metric or whatever, but his resume is absolutely Hall of Fame worthy, and I do think that people generally don't get big into pitchers, but I think his stuff. I mean, it's not going to be 10 times the value of it now, but
yet there'll be people that are like, wait a minute, pitchers markets are like half the size. Let's invest in that.
Exactly.
Get some influencers going, man. Pretty soon, people will be looking for Bronson Arroyo rookies.
We can Josh Johnson rookies. We can be those influencers. We can do that. I'm sorry, I've interrupted your segment like 5 times. I apologize. What else you got?
That's all right. Nobody's really listening.
True.
So we got the 1997 Bowman Chrome Adrian Beltre. $389 recent sale, $389 up from $270. That's a 44% increase. I like that.
Respectable.
Let's see his.
That's respectable.
Yeah, that's respectable. That's a tough set. A lot of scratching. All right, the 89 Upper Deck King Griffey Jr., 2831.
That's
77% increase from 1600. And I just can't believe that because that card was like a $300 card a year ago, wasn't it? Well, wasn't $1,000. I mean, that increase. It was like a major one like months ago,
right,
over the summer. But before that, it was just like maybe a $300 to $500 card, wasn't it?
Something like that. And now it's just had a nice little, just like a respectable, steady 75% increase in value in a couple months. Just a healthy.
And then, that's healthy. This is even a little bit more healthy. This is a big one too. So 86 tops traded Barry Bonds at a PSA 10, currently selling for $661, up 158% from 256 last time we did this.
So that's
pretty crazy.
That's got to be because the initial Hall of Fame voting this year, like, people are saying like he's gonna probably get in eventually. But that's crazy, dude. 158% increase in a few months. Like, I remember when I first got into the hobby, I wanted to like pick up key rookie cards, and I remember his tops traded in a PSA 10 was $50, and I was like, I don't want to pay $50 for a card. And then it was at like 100, and I was like, I don't know. I was at the 2017 National. I'm like, I kind of like the Fleer update, but it's like $110, and that was it. That was it, man. That's all she wrote. So that's a pretty eventful market update.
I was just sort of doing a recall of like crazy hobby things to see what I could remember. I remember picking up an SP Derek Jeter rookie for $30 at a mall show back in the day.
What happened to that card? Not circling back to our regrets.
Yeah, somebody stole that one from me.
Oh, sure. No. Oh, not literally. but
and then later when I called him out on it, he said that he actually got it graded and it came back as 7.5. He sent it to Beckett for some reason.
Wow.
I'm not. There's more to that story, but we don't have to go into it right now.
So he literally stole it from you?
I had left it at his house.
Oh my goodness.
And there was some time that passed and life happenings, and when I circled back, this is the story that I got. I'm sorry, man. I couldn't help myself.
So you're like, okay, cool. Thanks for grading it for me. Give it back.
Glad you couldn't help yourself to like my cards. Yeah.
I didn't know that grading something like made it yours. Like grading is 9/10 of the law.
And then he said that he was robbed.
Oh yeah.
And when I first asked about like, hey, like I know I left some cards there. I could care less what you have. I just want the Jeter back. He's like, and that was it. That was like, he stalled out for a little while. I'm like, so obviously since you haven't got back to me, something's up. And this was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I got it graded and
that's brutal, man.
And then and then I got robbed. He said he owed people money, and the guys came in and stole cards.
And they're like, wait a second, is that an SP? Is that a Jeter there?
Usually, low end criminals usually know the markets of good cards and stuff, you know.
Hold up, that's a 7.5 Jeter. Grab it. That's a depressing story. I'm sorry. You know what might that's the wrong button. You know what might cheer us up?
What card sold for more?
For more.
I want to play a game.
All right, I'm gonna ask Bob.
It's been a while since I've heard that, man. I was just waiting for that.
I'm gonna give Bob 2 cards, and then he's gonna tell me which one sold for more. These are all gonna be recent sales. Are you ready, sir?
Let's do it.
I don't think I have a wrong sound effect. So we're just gonna have to roll with this. All right. So normally
we got to get that prices right, like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Oh, the fail horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put that in the notes. Do you have your show notes handy?
So I left them at my dad's. We were working on some show IDs, kicking them around, but it's over there.
It's all good, dude. I'll write it. Yeah. I'll write it down. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll transfer it to the notebook later date.
So in the past, I would ask Bob a modern versus vintage, but we're going to kind of switch it up this time. Which card sold for more? 2015 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto, Walker Buehler PSA 10. All these cards, except for the ones where I note, are going to be PSA 10s, by the way. 2015 Bowman Chrome Auto, Walker Buehler. 2018 Bowman Chrome Auto, Shane Bieber. Which card sold for more?
Buehler.
That is correct.
Yes.
That is correct. I thought that's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky because Bieber just won the Cy Young.
Yeah, and that's like, what have you done for me lately? I wasn't gonna fall for the Bieber trap.
Yeah, it was a Bieber trap. It was a Bieber trap. And the Buehler actually outsold it by $63. So that one, generally, they're closer. That one was there's a decent gap there.
Who else is in that 2015? I know Key Brian Hayes is in there, and
funny you
Brian
mentioned
Reynolds.
that. Funny you mentioned that Brian Hayes is in there because he's going to show up later.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Next one is going to be 1973 Reggie Jackson PSA 9 or 2018 Ronald Acuna Topps Chrome Refractor. Just a base refractor. And I actually messed this one up because I forgot to say refractor. That's why I had to go on eBay real quick. And actually one sold today that changed the result. So which one do you think sold for more, the Reggie Jackson PSA 9 or the Topps Chrome Acuna? Not the update, just the regular Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10.
I'm gonna stick to the Reggie high grade vintage.
You were saved.
Nice.
You were saved because somebody paid $500 2 days ago for the Acuna refractor, and today it sold for $335.
Ooh.
Ouch. So the Reggie Jackson PSA 9 sold for $498. The old Acuna sold for $500, but I'm going to give it to you because I had to go back and I made a mistake.
All right, so can we? Okay, maybe let's come back to that. I got some.
No, go for it.
Okay, so just that little what you laid out there, as far as somebody paid $500 days ago,
2 days,
and
ago.
now it's 2 days ago, and it's down. We could have got it for less, more than 100. A little around $150 cheaper. Was it what, $360 you said or something?
Yeah, it was like $160 cheaper 2 days later.
So, like, who is that collector that's buying that for $500? Is it somebody that just like has deep pockets and they don't care? They just want the card because they think it's gonna be $500 by the time the season rolls around. Who are those people?
I don't know because the card 2 days before that $500 sale, that card sold for $300. So you would think it would be somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing. You would think.
Yeah, it kind of sounds that way. And was that a buy it now?
It was a best offer, and it sold for $500. So it was it was not an offer. Yeah, so somebody just like wanted to snatch it.
And the others were auctions.
Yeah, the 335 was an auction. The previous $300 one was buy it now, and then there was an auction before that. No, that was a sepia. So yeah, that
crazy
$350 buy it now. All right, have you ever? I don't think you've ever gotten all three correct, have you?
So to my recollection, the first time we did this, I got all of them wrong.
You definitely that is correct because I remember that.
And then I think I totally redeemed myself and got them all right on the next one.
We'll have to go back to the tapes. That sounds plausible. I think you at least got two of them right the next time, if not all three.
No, I think I did. You're right. I think I missed one.
But still, you redeemed yourself.
Now, I'm batting what?
Well, you're playing with house money on this one because if you get it wrong, you still win the round because you got two correct, right?
Okay, I liked it. Yeah.
All right.
So I'd be 2-1.
It's funny that you mentioned that Brian Hayes was in 2015 as well, because he's going to be in this one. This was a listener submitted card. This was Amish Dave Archer. He suggested Brian Hayes, and I laughed. I thought he was joking, and I somehow missed the fact that he was really good last year.
Yeah.
So 2015, Brian Hayes, Bowman Chrome autograph, PSA 10, or 1954 Al Kaline PSA 2 rookie card.
So I had been watching the Key Brian Hayes, and they were selling for around 260. I think 240, 260. But that was a couple weeks ago. So could you get an Al Kaline rookie for that much in a PSA 2? I'm gonna go with the PSA 2 Kaline. Not
Undefeated.
by much. Yes.
Undefeated.
Not by much,
Undefeated.
though, probably, right?
So the most recent sale for each was the Brian Hayes went for $342, and the Al Kaline went for $390. I was shocked that you can get a Legends rookie card, even in a 2, for under $400. That seemed kind of surprising to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Hayes was really good, so I don't know. Yeah, congratulations,
that's
sir.
pretty much the only
crushed it.
thing the Pirates got going for them right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Did I tell you I'm growing a mullet? Did I tell you that?
No,
It's happening.
that's cool. That's awesome. I like it.
It's not worth revealing just yet.
No, you're gonna reveal it at the National, right?
Right. Definitely.
You got to. 3 for 3 today. We have been recording now for over 35 minutes. I think
That's pretty good.
I think we got an episode. Taking out, editing out, all the useless banter. That's at least 20 minutes of material, maybe 15. So
I would agree. That's like a 20-25 minutes is usually like a standard drive into work. Hopefully around that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Start your day with the CBP.
So you want to wrap things up for us, and then I'll roll it out with the with our new song.
With the outro. Yeah. Hey, is there a format for this wrapping it up?
No.
Just kind of thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'm glad we were able to kind of get another one of these out there. People seem to enjoy them. I don't know. That can't last. I mean,
you never know when the last one's gonna be.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of liken the popularity of this podcast to the hobby market. I mean, it's just so much ups and downs. Like this is probably one of the most volatile podcasts out there.
Sometimes we have 3 listeners. Sometimes we have none. I mean, that's an infinite change. You know what I mean?
300%. I mean,
yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Last time I looked. But no, we enjoy doing this, and we appreciate you guys and all of your support. So thank you. Goodbye.
This goes too hard. This goes way too hard.